Hey everyone, it's Wingspan TT, and if you're watching, you know what time it is. It's time for Duels of the Planeswalkers. I'm playing Crosswinds right now. I've recently unlocked this deck. I was starting to play through the campaign. I don't have any actual unlocks for this deck, so this is just going to be the default deck. And one thing I would like to point out as I play these games, especially these early games, before I've unlocked everything, and I may ultimately pay for some deck keys to unlock stuff, is that, you know, I'm going to be like, oh, this card's good, this card's bad, but it's really going to be hard to tell until I have more time with the game to see how the cards interact with each other, see what the game plan is for some of this stuff. One thing I noticed with Crosswinds looking through the deck unlocks is that you have some really nasty combos in there. For instance, and this is great actually, he's playing this red deck, he's got this guy with haste, Pyre Charger here. I'm going to be able to drop Fog Bank and protect myself. But anyway, what I was saying was, I've seen some really interesting card interactions. You have Time Warp in this deck, and you have Panoptic Mirror, which will allow you to imprint Time Warp and take an extra turn every turn. Basically, if you can get Time Warp on Panoptic Mirror, which you could play as early as, I guess, turn 6 or so. If your opponent can't stop it in their next turn, then they just lost the game because you're getting infinite turns. This guy appears to be a noob. What is he doing? Oh, no, oops, I was wrong. This only prevents combat damage. Alright, sorry, read the fucking card. And anyway, and you know, I see people ragging on me, Wing, you're terrible at this game, you made this mistake, you made that mistake. You know, it's very easy to tell me how terrible I am when you're not the one trying to tell funny stories about being raped in Paris. Not that being raped is funny, but, you know, in the occasion where you don't get raped, I just want to get this Fog Bank out. Probably should play the Drake. But again, see, I'm trying to tell you stories, I'm trying to provide the commentary and go through the game. So I have to think, I have to play, I have to talk, and I have to try at least a little bit to be entertaining. I guess he's just going to burn it again. But it would be best if he wastes his burn on the Fog Bank. If we get that out of the way early on, then I could get my actual threat in play, Skywinder Drake, and start the beats. Of course, it only has one toughness, so I don't really think it's going to be protecting anything. He could attack with both guys, of course, now, and pump the guy that's not blocked. So he has nothing really to worry about from my defense, but at least I'll take one less damage a turn. We'll take the Skywinder Drake out. Skywinder Drake, I assume is the correct way to say it. It's so light and fragile it can glide where the air is thinnest. Whatever that's supposed to mean. We do have this nasty guy in the hand, 7 for 8/7 flying. It is definitely undercosted. I mean, gee, 7 for an 8/7 flying. You would kill for a creature like that back in the day. So, I'm gonna, if I can live that long, it'd be great to get that on the board. Meanwhile, he's gonna be hitting me now for anywhere up to 4 damage a turn. Which is kind of scary because I'm already down to 11 life. I may have misplayed a little bit. I possibly should play this third turn. Cone of Flame, 1 damage to this, 2 damage to this, 3 damage to me. This is going to be really bad. Cone of Flame, I believe, first made its appearance in Weatherlight. I used to think, oh man, what a cool card. Well, it's very cool, and it's going to ultimately be my demise now, taking 2 damage. And I'm now going into turn 5 with really no defense whatsoever. And he can definitely off me next turn. So unless I draw some kind of creature or something that's going to slow down his whole game here, I lose on the next turn, ladies and gentlemen, and there it is. Absolutely nothing. So that's pretty much it. GG. I'm not winning this game. So I guess I will just stick around and show you guys the next match. Hopefully I can come out with a little... I have heard Crosswinds. You know, people are complaining not enough defense in this deck. And I could definitely see that. You only have a couple early turn plays, 2 damage... 5 damage, he's going to take this now and end my terrible existence. Very well played by him, and notice that he doesn't go a cent over. Now, for me personally, I would consider that to be slightly risky because blue, what if I have a bounce spell or something like that? But look at that, I can be defeated. I do like here how it comes back to this, so we can play again. Let's roll, bro. And play another match. So I guess he might be switching up decks. I do want to unlock some cards for Crosswinds, and I do want to try to build a deck to get some nasty combos out there, get Panoptic Mirror, get Time Warp, or even Time Warp using Archaeomancer. You can get some really nasty stuff. So this is rough. Don't have anything to start with, but starting with the 3 lands, I think I'd like to start with that. So let's just hope that he has nothing absolutely nasty like last time, of course. I'm just going to guess he does. Curiosity, I've always liked this card. Although it is an enchant creature, it is an aura. And I don't get, what does this art have to do with Curiosity? Anyway, And let's see, he plays 0/1 Taunting Elf. Scary. Okay? But ultimately, that's not going to hurt me right now. I do have Rights of Replication, so he's playing green. I guess that's a good thing to have. Whenever an enchanted creature goes deal damage to opponent. Alright, so you can't put this on his thing, and it doesn't matter. It's 0/1. Anyway, what I was going to say is, Curiosity, unlike most auras, if you can play this and attack that turn, you're automatically going to get some kind of benefit. You're automatically going to get one card back, so it's going to pay for itself. So ultimately, in most circumstances, for the 1 mana, it is going to pay for itself. You are going to get the ability to instantly get your mana back. Now, next turn, I could play Curiosity on this thing, attack for 3. I could also play Talron's Invocation, get the damage on the board, get the blockers on the board, which I'd like to do. Although now he's got this Taunting Elf, which he may equip, which is going to get trample and get +1/+1 counters every turn, which could be scary. So he would have this thing I'd be forced to block every turn, and it would get +1/+1 counters, which he is going to equip now. So as long as I swing with every single turn, Talron's Invocation, it would be good to play Talron's next turn so that even if they're forced to block, it's before this thing is too scary, then I can drop the Curiosity after that. And I can save Right of Replication for when there's actually scary, when he drops scary threat on the board. Now I know I didn't diss Right of Replication before, but the reality is, this deck has no mana ramping. So the cool Right of Replication is coolest when you get to kick it for 9 mana. It's definitely useful for mana. You can still, for 4 mana, to get a copy of the scariest creature on the board is definitely worth it. Okay? It's just that, you know, in 2012, when you had the definite ability to hit the 9 mana, it was a bigger deal. Oh shit. So when this thing comes into play, he gets to put a +1/+1 creature token on whatever creature wants. Now it's a 2/3. I'm going to be forced to block it. And is he going to lose this elf, though? How does this work? All creatures must block it? All creatures able to block. So I'm going to have to block. Okay, yep. But is it letting me not block? Because if it's letting me not block, I'm going to laugh. Nope, I see. I have to block with both of them. Alright, just checking. I mean, if there was a bug that let you do that, then I would be very interested. But he's going to lose his Taunting Elf now. So, personally, I don't know if I would have attacked a Taunting Elf until it was at least big enough to survive that onslaught. And now he can reassign the ring here. I would have put the ring on this guy, personally. Because it's a 0/1. It's useless until it's at least a 1/2. So I would have put the ring on that guy so that next turn he could at least have something to attack for 1. Now, there's no point playing Right of Replication, nothing good on the board. I am going to drop the Curiosity on the 3/1. And because he's got the Taunting Elves, I would like to invest into this thing because I can't be forced to block into a Taunting Elf. So if he had another Taunting Elf, and again, I don't know if that deck has more than one, I wouldn't be forced to block with a creature that can't block creatures out flying. I get to draw this thing, which basically sucks. This card sucks, Hydra Surge. It has some uses sometimes, but this isn't one of those times. And I could use Right of Replication on this 3/1, but I just have a feeling he's going to play something scary. And when you play something scary, that would be a good time to Right of Replicate. Especially something with a cool ability that you can use every turn, some tapping ability. Let's see, he's playing 4 mana. He's getting 4/4 at the beginning of your upkeep. Return a creature you control to its owner's hand. Alright. So that's very good for this deck, because he can cast this thing every single turn and draw an extra card a turn. I don't know if I'm actually going to Right of Replicate this 4/4 yet. I do have some time. I'm ahead in life. He has creatures he can't block. I am getting closer and closer and closer to the 9 mana. So it'd be a lot better to save the Right of Replication to be able to cast that. I'm going to attack with both attackers. I'm going to see what I draw with Curiosity before I decide other things. And that's another thing. Don't play your cards until after combat unless you have to. And now I have this Hatchling, which is definitely not great or anything, but it can provide some early defense. Just drop him. Now he can't attack with the 1/1, or the 0/1, the 2/2. It's basically pointless. His 4/4 can attack. I can Hydra Surge if I have to, but now, next turn, I get to drop the Sphinx into play. 7 for 8/7. Then I'm going to have the scariest creature on the board. So I like this. Look at this. So he could drop that other guy into play and now start dropping +1/+1 counters on everything. Very, very cool. So this is a very cool mechanic, but he basically has to stop me, like, within a turn or two. So what is he casting now? When it enters play, target forest becomes a 4 or 5 green tree folk. Okay? And now, also, Bond Beetle enters target. You know, there you go. So he's got the 4/4, the 4/4. He can swing for 8. I might as well just sacrifice this guy, And I like how it handles this. It is still a forest. It's up there. It's forest tree folk, but it goes next to the creatures. So I could block 4 damage now, but I'm going to instantly lose. I'm just going to hold on to this. I'm just going to pass, take the 8 damage, and next turn block it when it's a 5/5. So I prevent 5 damage with it. And I can also use Hydra Surge. Oh, I could drop another Curiosity. So the question is, do I play another Curiosity or do I play the huge creature? This is really rough, okay? So basically what happens is if I attack for 5, okay, let's say he swings and I only have 1 blocker next turn. Let's say I have 2 blockers. I have this Sphinx and this guy. That's basically going to mean I can block 2 guys. He might be afraid to attack with anything huge. If I have the 8/7, he might swing anyway. So let's say he swings everything. This, not counting this one. 1/1, 4/4, 5/5, 4/5. So I can handle 2 of the big guys. I'd only take 4 damage. I would be fine. So that scenario sounds fine. I don't really need to have this guy too. I don't need the Hydra Surge, so I'm basically just going to swing and bring him down low enough that I can attack with both things next turn in case for some reason... I guess he could have a combat trick. I don't know. I don't think he's going to have anything. He does have 4 cards in hand. He has only 3 mana. He may or may not be counting on me having a... this thing. Alright, 8/7. And again, I was ragging on this thing before. It's hard to tell what's really ultimately going to work for this deck. This deck has pretty much 2 angles as far as I can see with Crosswinds so far. He's going to have to return something now. One angle is having a lot of flyers, stalling on the ground, and then coming with flyers for the win. The other angle is having a lot of instants and sorceries that you can play over and over again with things like Panoptic Mirror, Archaeomancer, with the rebound effects. So which of these is more powerful, I don't know. And then there's straddling the fence a little, where you have Talrand's Invocation, so you get those flyers, and oh shit, it has Overrun. Well, guys, LOL, I'm dumb. Okay, so basically I played that completely wrong. His attack with I don't know actually if he has enough damage. I don't think he has enough damage to kill me. So basically, if I blocked 8/8 here, 1 damage trample is going to come over, and I kill this thing. Okay, so I'm going to take 1. No, he's not going to be able to do it. And I'll block the 4 here. I'm going to take 8 damage, so I'm going to survive, and then he loses next turn. I'm dumb and I'm lucky. Alright, I live. But not lucky enough. Not lucky enough. Silly rabbit. Tricks. Alright. And there we go. We're going to swing. Anyway, guys, I'm Wingspan TT, and I hope you enjoyed this match. There will be more matches coming, but I hope you stop by TopTierTactics.com to check out more Magic stuff. I hope you stop by my channel again for more Magic fun, and I've unlocked a card. But I'm going to see you next time. I'm going to go, and I hope you enjoyed this match. Cheers.